Hey, it's Jenna, your program manager at Sculpt Fitness. Today I have a full body flow workout for you. All you need is a set of dumbbells and a mat. This workout will begin with a warm-up followed by two different flows, the first one using dumbbells and the second one using no equipment except a mat. And a flow is a series of movements that are easy to transition in between. After all this, we'll wrap it up with a cool down. Begin our warm-up with squat and reach, so you can take a wide stance, toes pointed outward. We'll slowly lower down as far as comfortable for you and reach tall overhead, feeling a stretch in the shoulders as we reach. Working to keep weight in the heels and chest lifted, working your range of motion. Nice, move on to a staggered hinge, one foot in front of the other, lining toes up with heels. We'll hinge down, reaching the hands just along the side of the legs, squeezing glutes as you come to standing, and trying to keep that back nice and flat as you lower down. Gaze can be just in front of the toes. And moving on to march and twist, bringing one knee up, twisting the elbow to reach towards that knee, working to get a little bit of core engagement here and letting the knees come up as high as comfortable. Lastly, windmills, wide stance, reaching down towards the ankle or toes, and pulling back up to the top, pressing hips forward once we come to standing. We'll try to reach that back arm, opening up chest and shoulders. Good. Warm-up's done. We'll get ready for our first flow. You go ahead and grab your dumbbells. Our first flow will begin with a deadlift and row. So feet are about hip width apart. Weights will start at the hips. Keeping shoulders back, we'll hinge down, row, return them down, and then stand back up. Really focusing on squeezing the shoulder blades as we row, and with holding that deadlift, we're squeezing the glutes, bracing the core by drawing belly button towards the spine. With the feet, weight should be mostly in the heels. You should feel this in the backs of your legs and glutes, as well as the back, adding that row. We're almost there. Keep it going. Good. Little break here, about 10 seconds. Getting ready for side step, squat, and shoulder press. So palms face each other, weights at the shoulders. We'll begin by taking a big step, wide squat, and then pressing as we return to the center, alternating which side you're stepping with. Working to keep chest lifted as we lower straight down towards the ground. And exhaling as we press those weights overhead. With your squat, lowering down as far as comfortable for you, while trying to keep those knees behind the toes. Weight again should mostly be back in those heels, but foot should be flat on the ground. We're almost there. Nice work, keep it up. And little break here, about 10 seconds. Getting ready to go back to our deadlift and row. Same positioning, shoulders back. We'll start with the hinge down first, adding that row, squeezing tight, and returning back to standing. And keeping those elbows pretty close to your sides with that row. Working to pull straight towards the belly button. Focus on squeezing those glutes tight, especially as we hold and on the stand. We'll work to keep that back as flat as you can. Just letting your gaze follow, not straining the neck. Try to squeeze a little bit tighter with that row. Keep it going. Continue to challenge ourselves. Good. We're back to our side step squat and shoulder press last time here. We'll get ready again, starting with that wide step to the side, returning back to the center and pressing those weights tall overhead. And we'll alternate which foot we're stepping with. Working to lower down as far as comfortable for you, and keeping weight in the heels, chest lifted, and shoulders back for a tall posture. And keep pushing it here. Move at your own pace. We're going all the way through the end. We're almost there, home stretch. Last couple here. And good, you can set the dumbbells down. We'll get ready for our next flow, focusing on core. So all you need is a mat. You can go ahead and set up your space. With our second flow, we'll focus on core, and we're gonna start standing at the top of your mat. We'll bring the hands down, slowly walk them out to a plank position, perform a push-up, and then walk them back up. But do not come to standing. Just try to touch right in front of the toes and work to keep the back as flat as you can. Another option with that push-up, you can drop down to the knees. You can keep this nice and slow, moving at your own pace. Here we go, keep pushing. From here we're gonna move right into a forearm plank. So once you get on your next walk out, we'll slowly walk our way down to the elbows. Work to keep that back flat. Then we'll add in some leg lifts. So you can either be up on the toes or you can be on the knees, just alternating that leg lift by straightening it out. And you can even have the hips a little bit lower than I do here. Working to keep that back a little bit flatter. Continue to breathe through. Good. We'll transition to side plank, rolling onto the right side. You can either go on the knees or toes, stacking or staggering the feet. In this video, I have my feet staggered. That elbow should be right below the shoulder, trying to keep hips facing forward, not twisting at all. We'll keep that hip lifted as high as you can. Breathing through here. Nice job. We'll slowly drop down, flip onto your back, moving right into roll-up, starting completely flat. We'll roll up to reach towards the toes, trying to keep back flat, sitting up tall at the top. Little hamstring stretch as we reach, and then rolling slowly all the way down, thinking one vertebra at a time. There's no rush with this exercise, keep it slow. Continue to focus on that control. And shortly here, we're going to move right into chops. The legs will come up off the mat, and we'll chop to one side, back down, the other, back down. Arms will stay straight. Working to sit up and twist as far as comfortable for you. We'll try to keep those legs right where they're at. You can take as much of a bend in the knees as needed. Nice work. Moving right into side plank on the left side. We'll set up same as last side, so either staggering the feet or stacking them, and you can also go down on the knees. We'll set up on our elbow, making sure it's directly below the shoulder. You can either reach that arm tall overhead, or you can set it on your side, or place it on the ground if you need a little extra support. Try to keep the hip lifted as high as you can. Breathing through. Good. Quick break here. We'll take a child's pose stretch. A few deep breaths. And we are going to go through one more time. So we'll start to set up, coming to standing for inchworms. And here we go. Hinging down to set the hands down, walking out to a plank, and then adding in that push-up either on knees or toes. And trying to keep that back as flat as you can the whole time. Bracing the core tight by drawing belly button towards the spine. And with our push-up, trying to keep those elbows tucked in close by our sides. Hands should be about shoulder width apart. Nice work. We'll transition into our forearm plank. You can join us once you get down to that walkout. You can either be on the knees or on the toes. Wherever you're at, focusing on keeping your hips, again, a little bit lower than I have in this video. Bracing the core by drawing belly button towards the spine. And trying to keep the hips as stable as possible with those leg lifts. Get ready for side plank on the right side shortly. We'll twist right here, either setting up on the knees or toes, stacking or staggering the feet if you're up on the toes. That elbow should be right below the shoulder. You can reach that other arm tall overhead, set it on your side, or again you can place it on the ground if you need a little extra support. Wherever you're at, we're breathing through, keeping that hip lifted. Nice job, we're almost there, focus in. Good, we'll transition to roll-ups on your back, completely flat to start, and we'll roll up, reaching towards the toes, and slowly roll all the way back down. And this is a slow one, focusing on going down one vertebra at a time. And enjoying that nice bonus stretch at the top with the hamstrings. And shortly here we'll go back to our chops. Alright, and go ahead and start to bring those legs up, moving to chops. Arms start overhead, then we'll chop by sitting up and twisting to reach on either side of those legs. And you can keep this one slow, we don't have any rush. Sitting up as high as comfortable for you. I'm trying to keep those legs right where they're at. And keep breathing, exhale as we chop. Good. We'll go to side plank, left side, final exercise. Either holding on knees or toes, elbows below the shoulder, and keeping that hip up as high as you can. Really focusing on bracing that core here, drawing belly button towards the spine to finish out strong. Home stretch. Good, and we'll slowly lower down. You can move into a child's pose to start. Work our way into a cool down stretch. You can shift forward to Sphinx stretch, resting on the forearms, keeping chest lifted tall, letting the belly relax completely, not here for long. We'll slowly press it back again to that child's pose, knees out as wide as comfortable, reaching the arms forward, sitting nice and low in the hips. It feels good. You can maybe find some movement with this second child's pose, shifting the hips side to side. Finding what feels good in your body. We'll slowly start to walk the hands up toward us, and we're going to step the right foot forward first, leaning in to a runner's lunge. We'll slowly reach that left arm across the body, maybe adding in some wrist rollouts. Stretch the fingers. Again, play around, find what feels good for you. We'll slowly start to straighten out that front leg, reaching down, stretching out the hamstrings in half splits. We'll try to keep those shoulders back, just reaching down as far as comfortable for you, and breathing deeply. Alright, you can roll up and we'll switch legs, stepping that left foot forward and shifting forward back to runner's lunge. This time we'll reach that right arm across. Option to roll out the wrist, stretch out the fingers. And finding what feels good. One more deep breath. Alright, and we'll slowly slowly start to shift the legs back, reaching the hands up and down for half splits. Our final stretch. Really breathing into those hamstrings, trying to keep the shoulders down the back. One more deep breath, and then we'll slowly roll up that leg, roll the shoulders out, and nice job. Workout is complete. Feel free to get some more stretching on your own. Otherwise, be sure to subscribe to our channel to stay up to date on all of our workouts. Thank you.